Hi everyone, and today I woke up and I thought, well, I need to say the community what exactly is Smite damage, and everyone asked for it too. So I made this. We start on top. New infantry commanders. The green arrows are indicating something that has influence on the stat that it points to. Red is where it has no influence on, and orange is the partially. Well, I will explain that later. We see on the right side, skill damage stats have influence on your skill damage factor. Let's say Boudica has 2500 skill damage and you have a 20% skill damage stat bonus, you gain 20% more of that damage. Normal attack stats have like the same wise. For example, if you have 20%, you gain 20% more smite damage factor. Okay? Now here is where it gets interesting, because in the red we have a red arrow from skill damage stats to smite damage factor. So your skill damage stats don't increase your smite damage factor. So you don't need the wedge formation, you don't need commanders like YSG as secondary, because it won't help, they don't do anything. Normal attack stats, on the other hand, do have a tiny little influence on skill damage factor, but it's not good to say that now. It's too complicated. We have a skill damage reduction debuff. This skill damage reduction debuff only applies to skills fired with skill damage factor. So basically, every single current commander in the game has a skill damage factor, like Boudica 2500 skill damage factor, and you can reduce her skill damage by applying a skill damage reduction debuff. But you can't reduce the smite damage debuff by applying a skill damage reduction debuff, because it's not the same. So now we think, well, that's really overpowered, because in our talent trees there's a lot of skill damage reduction, in our skills is skill damage reduction, and now it doesn't work. But we can also reduce the smite damage factor. Well, how? It makes kind of sense. By reducing their normal attack stats. So you can reduce their normal attack with certain commanders. So yeah, that's quite interesting. So what's needed to say, there's more normal attack stats that you can get in the game, as there is skill damage stats. Therefore, your smite damage factor can deal more damage as skill damage factors from other commanders. And keep in mind, these two infantry commanders are new and are the only ones that have the smite damage factor. And probably next all generations from next have this smite damage, or a lot of them. Why do they do it? They do this because they want to make the arch formation wanted. Because we don't use the wedge formation for it, but we will use arch formation, which gives 5% normal attack. Other marches can't reduce your smite damage factor by applying skill damage, is what I already said, what's in the pink. Someone in a group chat said, so now we're gonna use the greatest glory. That's an accessory that gives 5% normal attack. And everyone's talking like, yeah. But no, we are not gonna use it. Because still the ring and the horn are having the most damage for us, giving us the best trait. And 5% normal attack is just like 5% skill damage. It's not better than a ring or a horn. So let that be clear. I hope this video explained a lot to you about the new commanders. I personally think I tried my best. I hope it's good. See you in the next one. Leave that like and subscribe.